This Sunday is Palm Sunday, when we remember Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem. But in the next few minutes, I want to take you on from there. I want to use an Ignatian approach to the Bible passage as you imagine yourself within the story. On to Thursday and the Last Supper, on to the Mount of Olives and Peter's assertion that he would never deny Jesus. On as they enter the Garden of Gethsemane. Imagine yourself there with the disciples, Peter, James and John. After all the busyness of that week, the Passover crowds, going to get the donkey for Jesus and walking into the city of Jerusalem, streets packed tightly with pilgrims, and on to that Passover meal and all that Jesus said about his body and blood being shed, poured out for many. After all this, you come to the quiet of the garden, this Garden of Gethsemane, and the dark of the night. And Jesus says simply, "Sit here while I pray." Then he starts to get agitated and visibly upset. "I'm deeply grieved," he says to you, "even to death. Remain here and keep awake." Then he walks on a bit and throws himself on the ground, and you hear him wrestling with God, asking that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. "Abba, Father, for you all things are possible. Remove this cup from me. Yet not what I want, but what you want." Then you don't remember anymore because sleep has overcome you. You're so tired, it's too much. Suddenly, Jesus' voice rouses you from your slumber. He says to Peter, "Simon, are you asleep? Could you not keep awake 1 hour? Keep awake and pray that you might not come to the time of trial. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." And again, your eyelids droop and you can't resist sleep any longer. A third time, Jesus wakes you up. "Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? Enough! The hour has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand." It's a mark of the depth of his suffering and of the reality of his human character that in this time of crisis, Jesus wants and needs human companionship. Peter, James and John are not there merely as spectators, but for the support that they ought to be able to give to Jesus in his distress. He calls us in love to be with him, to give him support. We cannot hope to enter fully into the thoughts and emotions of the Son of God as he comes face to face with what his Father has asked him to undergo. When we stood in Llanidloes at the memorial ribbons on Tuesday, Marjorie Corbett, the chair of Cytun, reminded us of those who have gone bravely to work in the front line of the NHS, placing their own lives in danger for the sake of others. Such has been the level of sacrifice involved in this pandemic. Many have known the fear of death. Jesus is with them in their suffering. Jesus knew he was being called to place his life on the line, not for one, but a ransom for many. The role of the servant of God who dies for the sins of his people. We shall see something of the horror of what this means in Jesus' cry from the cross in Mark chapter 15, verse 34. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Will you stay awake with Jesus? Will you watch and pray through this Holy Week, through his dying on the cross for you? Will you come to the tomb on Easter morning, heart heavy and hope lost, yet come anyway just to be near him? And as I saw in a greeting in the letter from our moderator, you'll discover if you watch and pray with Jesus what a difference 3 days can make in life, as you see him stepping out from the tomb into the garden, fully alive and greeting you by name. That will be our reading next week. But for now, I simply ask you to watch and pray. Find a quiet place to be with God. Switch off your phone, television, turn off the tumbling thoughts in your mind. Go out into the garden, your garden, be still. Stay with Jesus. Remain with him. Listen to him. Watch and pray. Abba, Father, not what I want, but what you want. Amen.